Well, folks, welcome to I-35 Speedway. We're here tonight, and it is going to be the Mike Tanner, and I forget the words, Finish Strong Memorial Race here tonight. And I've caught up with Crystal Stockton.
Yes.
I got it right. Wow, okay. And Crystal, all I can say is that Mike is just a well-remembered guy around racing.
He is.
And to put this on every year, I think just kind of floods everybody's memories with Mike and, what always around him and how, things that he done in racing and around racing.
Yes.
But has it really been, I think I heard somewhere, has it been 8 years?
7 years.
7 years since he passed away. I can't believe that, but when you get old, time flies.
Right?
I mean, it just goes like crazy. But
well, time's flying anyway.
But can you tell us just a little bit about how Mike kind of got started in racing, where that originated?
Well, he used to hang out with Yancey Shepard at his shop on North Oak back in the day, way back. Mike was kind of shall we say, a troubled teen. And Yancey kind of took him under his wing and kind of taught him a little bit about racing and life and kind of helped him kind of keep a straight and narrow, helped him stay focused, and that's all that kids need is to stay focused.
And what kind of race car did he start in?
So at first he was racing like drag strip cars, just for fun with his friends, and then he started racing stock cars. He kind of jumped around a little bit for a little while. He did like the topless, like little late model thing. Yeah. He did B mods. He did stock cars. So yeah.
And he had a pretty good career himself. I mean, I can just off the top of my head remember Mike seeing him win, I think, quite a few B-mod races, as I recall, was kind of his forte, I guess, if you want to say that. But I remember him running. Do you have any idea how many races he won?
Oh, gosh, I don't know how many. We probably have it written down at home. But he definitely, it was important to him. And he, anything that Mike did, he wanted to excel at. And if he didn't, if he couldn't excel at it, he probably wasn't going to do it. So when he hopped in the race car, he was just really good at it. He was an intense guy in every single thing he did, and racing was just right up his alley. He loved it. Yeah.
And like I say, just so many fond memories that I think of when I think of Mike. But like you would do, just kind of touch on this a little bit. Like you say, him and Yancey were pretty close, and of course, I want to say Yancey's business kind of grown, got bigger or whatever through, I think, Mike using his motors and engines to race with and winning, and it kind of helped propel Yancey into the forefront also.
Yancey was a really well-respected engine builder for a lot of years, and he ended up moving to Smithville in our hometown, and Mike and him just kind of we're hand in hand together a lot of times in the racing community, for sure.
And one we got to touch on that I think everybody out there will know about is Ricky Thornton Jr. It's so hard for me to imagine that he is the guy that we used to know around here. I can remember a night at Lakeside, him and his, I think, girlfriend at the time showed up, and I interviewed him after the races, and there's a really good interview of Yancey on there. I'm switching all around him, of Yancey and Mike.
Yes.
And I just happened
to... hilarious. They were hilarious in that interview. I pulled that one up not too long ago, and I thought it was hilarious. In fact, I think I actually sent that to his wife for her to be able to use at her, for his memorial services and stuff. Yeah, that was a good one.
But I think Yancey won that night, and of course Mike was right there because he was the car owner or something, as I recall.
It was after Mike's accident, and he, if Mike couldn't race, he wanted somebody else to race, and that's kind of actually how Ricky and him kind of got started together, is because Mike couldn't be the full-time racer that he wanted to be. So.
Well, that's what I wanted to say was, it's so hard to imagine that that it took place right here in front of us,
Yes.
and that Ricky Thornton Jr. drove for Mike Tanner several times, won many races. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did he or did he not win a Boone National in one of Mike's cars?
I don't think. I don't think so. I know that he won here. I know that he won a Lakeside, I believe. There was a lot in Arizona, that type of thing. But for the most part, Ricky kind of owned his own cars, so to speak. But Mike kind of helped with like the toter. So that way Ricky had like a place to stay and food to eat and a good time. So Mike wasn't, I mean, Ricky for the most part owned his own stuff, but Mike definitely liked to have him travel with him and stuff.
But still kind of a pat on the back or whatever you want to call it as far as helping the guy out, because I can remember when it was like I say him and his girlfriend, and he told me one night at Lakeside, he says, if we don't win tonight, he says, I don't know if we'll have enough money to get to the next race.
Well, you know, Ricky was a small-time racer too in Arizona. Him and his family, all of them race. Just an overall great family, and you know, they were paycheck to paycheck just like the rest of us. So you know, it was, you know, it just happens like that.
Well, like I say, just a fantastic thing, and like for it to happen right here with us. But tell us just a little bit about maybe the history of this race, this memorial race for Mike, and how it kind of got started. And I know there's a lot of money on the line tonight, and I don't know if you've got some sponsors that you want to mention about any of that, but just tell us a little bit about the race.
Yeah, so we started this race when Mike died. At first, it wasn't that we put any money in it. You know, it just was a memorial race for Mike. And then we came up with Finish Strong Foundation, which is in Mike's memory. We support children that are in sports when their families are struggling financially due to illness, injury, death, or other unexpected traumatic events. That happened for our family. The only thing that was super important to Mike and I is that our kids had as much normalcy as possible. And the community really stepped up. The racing community, the sports community really helped us out when we really needed help. And my son was traveling all over the United States for wrestling, and we didn't have any money after Mike's race or after Mike's accident. So it was just, you know, there was a lot that went on, and we started the foundation so that we could pay forward what was done for us. And this is our 7th year and 6th year with the Finish Strong Foundation, where we were raising money for it. I appreciate everybody coming out. It's important to us to remember Mike, but it's also important to us to, you know, raise money for this foundation so that we could keep Mike's legacy alive.
What is it, or is there a number that you know is the total purse for, because I know you're not just doing the pure stock race with some big money on the line there, but there's other money spread out. But what would be the total purse that you've raised for the race?
I didn't actually count. I know that the track obviously has their money. Our family puts in money, and then we ask sponsors to put in money as well. So I know the payout is really strong throughout the whole race. It's like $200 to start for most positions, $1,020 to win, $900, $800, $900, $700, $600. It kind of goes down, but I mean, we want the racers to enjoy this race. We want them to keep coming back. We want them to, you know, come home with some money, because, you know, it's hard to come by these days, especially in racing. I mean, a tire costs 80 something, 160, I don't know, something like that. But it's expensive to race right now, and we just want to put some money back into the racers' pockets, and also it helps us out. So
Tell me a little bit about this car. I don't know that I've seen this car. Does anybody raise this? Because it looks clean as a whistle.
This is actually Mike's race car. We put a different body on it after he died. He actually didn't get to race this. So or maybe once or twice, not a lot. We put a new wrap on it. Jeremy Thornton, Ricky's brother, with EMD wraps, came up with this wrap with all the pictures and the memorial stuff on it for Mike. And then we've been using this car ever since. Now, this year, we're actually going to raffle off that side of this memorial car. We're going to get a new memorial car put together.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sounds really great. I love the noise. I hope everybody can hear this okay. I think so. This microphone usually works really well. But anyway, Crystal, thanks for taking a minute to talk to us. And all I can say is, as I've already said twice, just brings back a lot of fond memories of racing from the past. And I appreciate that you and all the other people that are involved in this take the time, the effort, and the money to get this done, and looking forward to it here later on.
Well, I appreciate it, and same goes for you. You're a pillar in this racing community, and you have been here since God knows how long.
23 years.
Yeah, so I appreciate what you do. I hope you understand that you're important, and thank you for this.
It's nice to hear, believe me, because you see so many people, what they usually walk up and say is, "Aren't you that cheese guy?"
Oh, God, no. I know who you are. You've had some great interviews over the years. A lot of guys, go to YouTube, look up My Craft, Cheeseworks.
Yeah.
There are some phenomenal interviews with some very awesome past racers. So
Yeah, I've been really lucky. I've been able to interview some of the biggest stars in dirt car racing. When I started this, I never think that would happen. But anyway, it's been fantastic. But anyway, Crystal, like I say, thanks for your time, and looking forward to the Pure Stock race, and probably next year.
thank you so much. I appreciate it.
This one again, green flag is out. Jason Teal looking to the outside early as the field goes into turn number 1. 4 wide for the lead. Hinkle's going to get sideways. He will save it. J.R. Curtis comes out in front. Into 3. Now they go more loose into the corner. Hinkle up top. Miller on his inside. But J.R. Curtis is going to lead the first lap number 1 in the Sport Compact feature race. It's now Ryan Hinkle trying to fight back on the inside. Samuel Moore right there with him. Say, don't look too far back. Here comes that 31, undefeated in the Sport Compact so far this year. 31 of Brad Nick up to 4th. As this race for the lead continues, Hinkle able to get around Curtis. So Ryan Hinkle now our new leader. Not getting too far out in front of J.R. Curtis quite yet. Samuel Moore still in 3rd. Brad Mick 4th. David Miller our top 5. But Ryan Hinkle seems to be the top car on the track as of now. It's now Brad Mick right on the back bumper of Samuel Moore and Curtis, as Miller's going to look to the inside of Mick. So spots 2nd through 4th right there all together, as Ryan Hinkle trying to drive away with this one. Brad Mick pushing Curtis down the front stretch. Bit of some contact between Mick and Moore into the corner, but everyone able to keep it going as they stay side by side for 3rd. Now into turn 3. This time by is going to be halfway home in this Sport Compact feature. Ryan Hinkle still our leader. J.R. Curtis 2nd, with Brad Mick closing in quickly. Samuel Moore and David Miller racing it out for 4th, as Mick able to make the pass for 2nd. So here comes that 31 of Brad Mick, as Curtis gives a little love tap into 3. No harm, no foul. Everyone keeps it going. Now into turn 1. Field is single file all the way back. You can see the fireworks off of turn 2 right over our CR Season Services sign. Ryan Hinkle trying to finish this one out here tonight, but Brad Mick wanting to keep his win streak alive. Those top 2 cars now separated themselves for this race for 3rd between David Miller and J.R. Curtis. It's going to be 2 laps to go for Ryan Hinkle. Brad Mick within striking distance. Now into 1. Miller on the inside of Curtis. for third again. Hinkle's going to hold on to about his 2 to 3 car length lead into 3 and 4. This time at the flag stand, it's going to be white flag for the 17 of Ryan Hinkle. Brad Mick trying to keep his win streak alive. He will dive into 1, see if he can maybe get side by side with Hinkle. Not going to happen through 1 and 2. Into 3 and 4. Mick's going to try it again. Pulls the bottom. Hinkle up top. It will be Ryan Hinkle taking home tonight's feature win. Brad Mick second. David Miller third. J.R. Curtis fourth. And Samuel Moore our top 5.
All right, are you ready for, how about this? New winner.
Yeah, I just want to thank my whole team, Kazi, Outlaw and Outsider, my girlfriend in the back, everyone that helps me get up here, get front. I'm glad that I got Brad Mick's winning streak to an end. Glad it was me, and thank you all for coming out.
All right, we'll see you guys in tech.
Pure Stock Mike Tanner Memorial Race. 20 laps will be the distance for tonight's Pure Stock feature race. Let me make sure I get everyone on the list here. We have 24 total cars in tonight's feature race, so let's waste no time. Starting up front will be the 13N of Dylan Nelson to his outside, the 0 of Chase Galvin.
Row 2 has Jake Starmer in the 11J and Clint Baker in the 17X.
Row 3, the 21 of Peyton McDowell to his outside, the 11S of Tyler Starmer.
Row 4 has James Silkwood in the 39S and the 2 of Kevin Sather.
Row 5 has the 6 of John Snyder to his outside. It'll be the 47W of Sean Wirtz.
Row 6 has a 90 of Jason Payne and the 66A of Landon Brown.
Row 7, the 08Y, one of the B feature winners. That's Riley Yonts. Their outside will be the 55T of Mick Ross, our other B feature winner.
Row 2 has a C7 of Josh Marshall and 49K of Conrad Kaufman.
Row 9, the 35G of Gavin Greer. To his outside will be the 91 of CJ Turner.
Row 10 has the 41 of Mason Beck and the 48X of Tyler Cadwallader.
Row 11, the 174 of Derek Lampy. They're outside the 02 of Robert Chase. Race fans, now is your chance. Get on your feet and give these Pure Stock drivers a big wave. Be as loud as you can. Row 12 has the 4 of Gary Akers. To his outside, the 16B of Marvin Kaufman. Lights are out. 20 laps on the board. Tonight's Mike Tanner Finish Strong Memorial Race is going green.
Nelson is going to lead us into 1. Galvin on the outside. Here comes Starmer on the bottom. We'll get through turns 1 and 2 clean. Down the back into 3 and 4. Galvin clear on the high side. Galvin's going to lead the first lap.
Chase Galvin, our early leader, as the field roars by the grandstands. Everyone able to keep it going. Up front, it is Chase Galvin as well. Battling for second, is Jake Starmer and Dylan Nelson. Back there in fourth is Clint Baker. Rounding out the top 5, the 21 of Peyton McDowell.
McDowell trying to slide up in front of Baker for fourth there. Sather, great run off of 2. think the other Starmer, the 11S, with a great run as well. Mick Ross all the way up to the outside of Sean Wirtz. As we have a battle for the lead now, the 13J is catching up.
We have a car around in 3 and 4. Looks like he's able to keep it going. Green, our track official, trying to get out of the way over there. The 4 is going to stop it in 3 and 4. Probably going to try and stay out of our lead pack's way. Great call by them. Is now Chase Galvin under fire from the 11J of Starmer.
Galvin holds off Starmer well. Tyler Starmer slides back there in front of Mick Ross. As Galvin gets by.
So Chase Galvin still our leader. Jake Starmer, you're good. Jake Starmer trying to reel him in still with Dylan Nelson back there in 3rd. The race is for 4th between the 21 of Peyton McDowell and the 17X of Clinton Baker. But this race for the lead, like you said, Tanner, starting to heat up.
Jake Starmer about a half second back from the 0 of Chase Galvin. This time by the flag stand, we'll see how that lead looks. And Galvin starting to pull away.
The real question, if we stay green in this one, who can navigate this lap traffic the best? As we see the 02 of Robert Chase, one of those first lap cars, pull into the infield. So first one up will be the 4 of Gary Akers that these leaders will be catching up with. But I don't think Starmer's going away quite yet.
Starmer ran a better lap that time, down to 0.4 of a second. You're right, Dylan, this lap traffic might just play a role. They're too wide ahead of them. Starmer on the very bottom, Galvin on the outside. Starmer is coming halfway through.
The 11J of Jake Starmer, he is there as they reach the first lap car of Gary Akers. Chase Galvin in the 0, 11J of Jake Starmer. Those are our top two.
Tyler Cadwallader got loose, nearly spun on the front stretch, able to save it. As here come the leaders, that time by 0.04 of a second for Galvin. And yellow flag is out. Looks like trouble on the backstretch.
Caution comes out. Trouble for the 08Y of Riley Yonts. Way home in this one. 10 laps down, 10 to go. Caution lights are out. Chase Galvin is your leader. Row 2, Jake Starmer and Dylan Nelson. As we go back to green.
Nelson right on the back bumper of Galvin there. Diving to the outside. Gonna have a run off of 2. Nelson gets out of the gas there. Sets up a bit of a chain reaction behind him. Everybody gets through as Starmer is on the inside for the lead.
Dylan Nelson also putting his name in the mix. The car that stood out to me, where did that 2 car in 4th come from? The 2 of Kevin Sather. I feel like we haven't said anything about him all night.
Conrad Kaufman on the infield.
He looks like he has some damage. Tough break for him. But I'm keeping an eye on this 2 car running in 4th right now.
As trouble now, 6 goes around in traffic. John Snyder in some trouble.
Back to green, 8 laps to go. Jake Starmer will bring us back to racing.
Dylan Nelson with a great restart. He's to the outside of Chase Galvin for 2nd. Here comes Kevin Sather now, and Mick Ross won the B feature up to the top 5 with a little time left. Sideways back there, CJ Turner saves it.
We stay green. As our 3rd and 4th place cars right now might be the 2 fastest cars on the track. Here comes the 2 of Kevin Sather. well as Mick Ross. Mick Ross started all the way back in 14th. Here he is trying to take second away.
The 12 of Dylan was getting in the 2 of Sather. You said Ross might be the fastest, but that time by, it was still our leader, Jake Starmer. Not sure if anybody's going to have anything for the 11J. Trouble now for the 21 in turn 4.
Starmer is your leader in the 11J, but it's got some fast cars behind him. 2 of Kevin Sather in second, Dylan Nelson third, Mick Ross fourth. So we go back to green.
Huge restart there for Jake Starmer. That Sather is diving it into 1, trying to make it stick. That 2 is fast. We'll see what he's got. Hops to the outside. Starmer on the bottom. 4 laps to go now.
The 2 of Kevin Sather trying to reel him in, as well as Mick Ross in third now. Down the backstretch they go. Starmer's led multiple laps here, but can Sather find a way around and lead the closing laps? He's way up on the outside. Big run down the front stretch for Sather.
Nearly identical laps that time by, but he's gaining little by little. Sather on the inside off of 2. Getting to the bumper this time by. It's going to be 2 to go for Starmer off of 4. Here comes Mick Ross.
2 laps to go in this one. 3-car battle for the race win, as now Sather's going to take a look to the inside of the 11 of Starmer. Not able to make the pass. Into 3 they go. One more time. Sather to the inside. Not there. White flag out for Starmer.
2 more shots for Sather. He's going to dive it into 1. Gets back door to door. Maybe some contact. 1 more shot for the 2. Coming in 3 and 4. 11J ahead. We've got a caution light out. Caution is out.
All right, caution lights are out. Like Tanner just said, green, white, checkered, 2-lap shootout to decide this one. Jake Starmer's led basically all of them, but he has a lot of competition behind him as we go back to green.
Great restart that time for Sather. He's going to dive it into 1 and 2. Got to the door of the 11J, but couldn't get farther. We'll see what he does in 3 and 4. Goes to the outside. Coming to the white flag. Starmer still your leader.
Jake Starmer trying to hold on for 1 more lap. Does Kevin Sather have anything for him as they go down the backstretch? Into 3 they go. Sather's going to drive it in. Not going to get there. Jake Starmer will take home tonight's Mike Tanner Memorial Feature win. Kevin Sather second, Mick Ross an impressive 3rd place, Bubba Silkwood 4th, and Dylan Nelson our top 5.
Starmer, Mike Tanner Memorial winner. One heck of a race. Finish strong, Mike Tanner Memorial. A cool check for $1,020. Lisa Burlington, our photographer, taking 3 pictures. Jake, tell me, how's it feel?
It's hot. I'm tired.
You had competition right behind you.
I felt him most of the time.
So, since you felt him most of the time, did you know where he was?
Yeah, he's on my left rear the whole time.
Hey, Crystal, why don't you come in here? Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, you need to talk one more time. Tell me your thoughts on that race.
That was a very exciting race. That was awesome. Good job. Congratulations.
What'd you guys think? Was that an awesome race? All right, we're going to have some more races here in a little bit.
Line them up. Let's try it again. Ethan Isaacs, Tyler O'Neill, your front row. They're going to bring us down to green. Great jump from the 23J of Casey Burnett. He will slide way up as now we're side by side for the lead. Ethan Isaacs on the bottom, O'Neill up top. Haven't moved spots since the start. Off of 4, Isaacs will clear, and here comes the 38D of McLaughlin into the mix.
McLaughlin on the inside of O'Neill. Casey Burnett riding the rim. 3-car battle for second now. It's off turn number 4. Isaac still your leader, but a whole pack right behind him.
That 38 of McLaughlin really closing in on your leader, Ethan Isaacs. They go single file. Your top 5 is Isaacs, McLaughlin, Tyler O'Neill, Casey Burnett, and Adam Dunwoody. Big jump out of the 12D back there. Everyone able to keep it going.
Adam Dunwoody, one of the fastest cars on the track. Just 1/thousand slower than Ethan Isaacs, but he's running back in 5th. Have a couple of cars to get through before he can get up and contest. But Ethan Isaacs still pulls away.
Tyler O'Neill trying to switch it up, as well as Casey Burnett now. They're going to jump up on that outside line, see if they can find a little momentum on the outside.
Lucas
O'Neill looks to the outside of McLaughlin. Go ahead, Tanner.
Lucas Isaacs running under 18-second laps back there in 6th.
He's coming through the field, too.
A lot of fast cars mixed up in traffic right now. But McLaughlin on the bumper, the 66 of Ethan Isaacs. Here comes Casey Burnett on the bottom of Tyler O'Neill. Through 3 and 4, Burnett gets a little loose. It'll give 3rd to O'Neill at the line.
O'Neill now up to 3rd as this battle for the lead continues between Ethan Isaacs and Darian McLaughlin. McLaughlin's trying to get underneath Isaacs, but Isaacs is glued to that bottom line, not letting him have it.
This is what happened last week. I believe it was Chad Clancy, and I want to say that 12 back there, Chris Wright, could catch Clancy all day long, could not get around him. McLaughlin able to now.
McLaughlin is there on the inside. He saw that space and took advantage. So to the point, the 38D of Darian McLaughlin.
Dunwoody's still faster that time, and Chris Wright back in 6th faster.
Up to 3rd, and he is right behind Ethan Isaacs. It could get really interesting up front as the caution comes out. Woo! Looks like caution is out for the 12. Caution lights are out. 8 laps down, 7 to go. Darian McLaughlin's going to bring us back to green.
Great restart by McLaughlin, but here comes Dunwoody on the very outside, riding the berm. Here comes the 33D, shot out of a rocket down the back. Through 3 and 4, Dunwoody up top, McLaughlin on the bottom, Isaacs behind him. It's still McLaughlin for now.
McLaughlin holding on to that lead. He's making that inside line work, but quickly closing in on him. Here he comes down the backstretch. Adam Dunwoody has it wound up on the outside. Now through 3 and 4, they stay the same. McLaughlin on the bottom, Dunwoody up top. Dunwoody continues to reel him in.
Isaacs has moved up too, trying to find something up there. Last time by, top two cars, both under 18 seconds. Dunwoody side by side with the leader. Off of 4, McLaughlin still in the lead, but here comes Adam Dunwoody.
This has been Dunwoody's best corner, 1 and 2. He's going to get a big run off of this corner down the backstretch, side by side for the lead into 3 and 4 now. Dunwoody ripping the beam of this track, trying to get around McLaughlin. He is there at the flag stand.
0.09 of a second between these two. Here comes Adam Dunwoody running that Lee Hibner line. Off of 4, gonna see 2 to go. 33D, 38D. Woo. At the line. Dunwoody by 0.03 of a second.
Dunwoody still holding on, trying to find a way to clear McLaughlin. They stay top and bottom. McLaughlin up in the bottom, Dunwoody up top. White flag is out. It's going to be a crazy finish here.
Dunwoody able to lead him for 1 lap, but he's got 2 more chances. He's going to get that big run off of 2. Hail Mary for Adam Dunwoody. He goes outside. McLaughlin keeps it on the bottom. Darian McLaughlin is going to win the B-Mod feature. Dunwoody second. Then Chris Wright, Ethan Isaacs, and coming home 5th is Casey Burnett.
You can stay in the car. But I got a question for you. You were in a hurry to get to Tech.
I haven't been there in a long time, bud.
So tell us how it felt to win.
It definitely felt good, buddy. I got a lot of people to thank, my parents and just all the people on the side of this car. They make it happen. Yeah, that was a heck of a race. I seen Adam around the top several times and just tried to hold off the bottom and yeah. But thank you all for coming out, and we're trying to put on a show for you guys.
There you go. Give him another round of applause. He'll head to Tech here in a little bit. Trophies at the end of the night.
Lights are out. Bears and Hiddle one more time will bring us back to green. Great restart from the 74 of Schweizer.
He's on the inside, thinking about the bottom of Bears. Big run off the corner for Austin Kaplan. He rode that to the win last week. Schweizer, look at the sparks on those rotors. Hiddle sideways in the middle of the pack. Bears still your leader at the line.
Rodney Schweizer throwing some sparks off of those brakes, but it does not matter, and he is looking to take the lead away from Jaden Bears down the backstretch. Now into 3. Schweizer on the bottom. Bears running middle through the corner. Looks like Schweizer will clear, put Rodney Schweizer to the point.
Schweizer running under a 19-second lap, 18.9 that time by. Second fastest car would be Scott Brown, now in second, just over 19 flat.
Up front, it is still Rodney Schweizer. Now second place is the 11B of Scott Brown. And then a 3-car battle for third, including Austin Kaplan, Jaden Bears, and I believe that to be the 88C of Justin Custer, rounding out our top 5.
A lot of fast cars up here at the front. Custer and Bears might have got tangled together a little bit. Custer's going to lose a spot on the exit of 2. Look at that pack of cars coming off 2. 5 cars under a blanket as Schweizer continues to pull away.
Debris and 3 ice.
Debris caution, a big, looks like red chunk of something just got hit by Kaplan. Matthew Lance tosses it up to the outside. We'll let them get that cleaned up and stop playing catch.
Row 2 made up of Scott Brown and Austin Kaplan, Matthew Lance, Jaden Bears in row 3 as we go back to racing.
Schweizer will lead us into 1. Don't get Kaplan wound up on that outside. He's going to be hard to stop. Just as I mentioned it, there goes the rocket down the back. Austin Kaplan from third to door with our leader, and he might not be done just yet. Austin Kaplan up to second.
Here comes Kaplan as the 92 car takes it into the infield. That's the 292 of Blake Peeler. So this battle for the lead continues now into 3. Kaplan,
There he goes, up and over.
Kaplan up and over.
Three, Hiddle, and I believe that's Manley all the way up to row 4. As we're going to go green here for the stock cars, 10 laps to go as we come off of turn 4.
Back to green we go. Rodney Schweizer will lead the field into 1. Matthew Lance going to see what he can make happen on the outside line. Everyone else jumps down bottom, but Matthew Lance with a big run down the backstretch, now side by side with Brown into 3 and 4.
Caution has come out. Couple of cars tangled up together on the entrance to 3.
Can help with anything. Free estimates and consultations are available. Seaberg Muffler. Make sure to give them a call, 816-471-4296, as Rodney Schweizer brings us back to green.
746 is going to lead us into turn number 1. Matthew Lance out of Savannah on the outside. Gets by Scott Brown for second. Sets his sights on our leader, Rodney Schweizer. And Lance is closing.
Lance seems to be the faster car up on that high line. See if he can make it stick.
Scott Brown, fastest car on track that lap.
I stay corrected then. So our second and third place cars are our 2 fastest cars out there. But can they find a way around our leader, Rodney Schweizer? So we have another caution out.
Will they get a chance to get around Rodney Schweizer?
Matthew Lance and the 11 of Scott Brown, second and third. Justin Custer fourth. Jaden Bears the top 5.
Great restart that time by Lance. He's going to ride the bottom this time. Been having success on the outside, but he'll try his hand right on the tire tracks of that 746. Now he'll go outside of the 11. Big wheel jump for Custer. Did you see that? Schweizer's still the leader. I don't know how that 88 held on.
Yeah, that was, we saw the underneath of that 88 back there, but good thing he's able to keep it going as he's fighting with Doug Keller for 5th. But up front, it is Schweizer, Brown, and Lance racing it out for this win. Schweizer's led them all so far, but the 11 of Brown not going away.
Brown faster that last lap. As we have trouble again, looks like a Manley, I think the 9. And Mike Miller puts in the infield, and somebody just spun. I think that's Blake Peeler after the yellow.
Back to green we go. Schweizer will bring us back to racing.
Scott Brown right behind him, been running about 1/100th of a second faster lap time. 11B right on the bumper of Schweizer. Down the back stretch, giving him the business a little bit. Off of 4.746, still your leader.
Scott Brown there in second. Might be getting a little impatient with our leader, Rodney Schweizer. You see him giving the bumper tap all around this track. Now Schweizer opens that lead back up. Keep an eye on Doug Keller here, too. Where did he come from running in fourth? He joins this three-car battle.
You want to, where did he come from? Look at Tyler Cadwallader. Just passed for 6th, started 26th. And now Scott Brown has trouble fighting for the lead. Matthew Lance gets by him. Nearly on the outside of Schweizer. Another wheel hop there for Keller. Here comes Matthew Lance for the lead.
Lance and Schweizer.
3/100ths of a second as Schweizer goes around.
Caution lights are out. One more time, it's going to be a green-white checkered two-lap shootout to decide this USRA stock car feature race. Scott Brown, Doug Keller, Jaden Bears, Tyler Cadwallader, and Justin Custer, your top 5. 2 laps to go.
Keller going to try to get to the inside of Brown there. Cadwallader on the outside of Custer. Big run off the corner for the 69. He's got a head of steam, but might not have time to use it. Off of 4, coming to the white flag. Scott Brown one more time around.
Scott Brown trying to hold on to this one. He will dive down to the inside. Doug Keller follows him into 1, off of 2. Down the backstretch they go. What? Scott Brown takes home tonight's stock car feature win. Doug Keller second, Jaden Bears third, Justin Custer fourth, Anthony Robertson fifth.
Scott, congratulations. You got a win. What do you want to tell everybody?
Oh, thanks for coming. It's a great track to race at. Decided to come up here and race with my grandson. He flipped last week on the front straightaway, or up here in turn 2, and we had to get him back out here. I'm going to show him how to do it.
Well, congratulations. You done great. We'll see you in Tech and see you at the end of the night for trophy presentations.
Thank you.
USRA a modified feature race. Starting up front, the 1 car of John Melloway to his outside, the 33C of Ben Stockton.
In row 3, national USRA points leader Houston Johnson in the 97. To his outside, Tyler Hibner in the 89.
Row 3 has the 99H of Lee Hibner. To his outside, it'll be the 88 car of Jimmy Dowell.
Row 4's got the 211 of Tim Eaton and the 18 of Brad Johnson.
Row 3, the 9 of Mark Schaffman to be on the inside, and to his outside, the 26S of Stephen Glenn.
Row 6 has the 12 of Andrew Thomas. And give him a second to change. No, there he is right there. A 54, 74, whatever you want to call it, a Rodney Schweizer.
And in row number 7, the 58 of Terry Van Trump. And the 12 JR of Jory Stotts. Caution lights are going out. 20 laps will be the distance for tonight's A modified feature race. Your front row of John Melloway, Ben Stockton will bring us down to green.
Melloway gets a big jump. He's going to lead us into one and go sideways. Melloway loses it in turn number 1. Melloway spun, but the caution's actually going to be on the start, so we're going to do an original restart here, give them all one more chance. Front row of Stockton and Melloway are going to lead us back to green.
Back on the gas, Stockton and Melloway will lead the field into 1. Melloway again slips up through the corner. Houston Johnson in the inside, but Tyler Hibner with a big run. He gets around all of them. He is our early leader. Houston Johnson still racing out for second. He will clear. So Tyler Hibner, Houston Johnson 1-2 after 1 lap.
Didn't take long to get the usual suspects up here. Hibner to the lead. Houston in second. Oh, stack up back there. Lee Hibner broke. 99 with problems. That's going to bring out the caution.
Caution lights are out. Tyler Hibner is your leader. Row number 2 made up of Houston Johnson and John Melloway. Row 3, Ben Stockton, and I believe that's Jimmy Dow as we go back to racing.
Hibner will get into an early lead, but here comes Houston Johnson on the inside. Hibner slides up off of turn 2. That's going to give Houston the lead. Into turns 3 and 4. Houston's going to go to the outside. Hibner's trying the slide job. Door to door at the line. 1/1000th of a second between our top 2.
Literally dead even at the lines. They're making contact off of 2. Now into 3. Johnson prevails into the corner. Hibner going to jump to the bottom, see what kind of run he can get. Hibner the leader at the line.
Houston going up top again. Hibner keeping it on the bottom. Houston, big run down the backstretch. Here's Stephen Glenn in third. Where did he come from? Off of turn number 4. Houston up top with a head of steam right on Hibner's bumper.
Into 1 they go. Both drivers up top. Now Johnson's going to try and cut down through the corner and get a good run down the backstretch. This battle for the lead is still action-packed. Now Tyler Hibner puts another lap away here.
Hibner pulling away a little bit. John Melloway running a really fast lap back there in 3rd. This time by Hibner extends his lead.
Johnson's going to try and switch it up in 1 and 2. He jumps down to the bottom side, see what that has to offer. These top 2 go down the backstretch now into 3. Hibner running that lower line. Johnson up top through 3 and 4. So running some different lines, these top 2 cars.
Hibner pulls away a little more there. Now Johnson goes back to the outside looking for something. Melloway on the bottom as Stephen Glenn gets by for 3rd. Houston riding the bowl. Off of 4. Hibner pulls away a little more.
Tyler Hibner still our leader. Houston Johnson 2nd. Stephen Glenn in 3rd. And the 1, John Melloway in 4th as he is under fire now from the 88 of Jimmy Dow. That is the race for 4th, our top 5.
Hibner evened out a little bit there. Houston ran a good lap. We have just hit halfway here. Now 9 laps to go.
9 more times around. Top 2 cars separated themselves from 3rd place. Those top 2 are Tyler Hibner and Houston Johnson. 3rd place, Stephen Glenn. As these top two might start reeling in a little bit of that lap traffic. First one up is the 12 of Andrew Thomas.
This time by Houston just a little bit slower than Hibner. Stockton takes it over the wall. This time by, we come to 7 laps to go.
Laps are starting to wind down for your leader, Tyler Hibner. Houston Johnson still looking for something to try and reel him back in. Stephen Glenn still holding on to third. Now a race for fourth between Tim Eaton and Jimmy Dow.
Houston ran a faster lap that lap as Hibner has caught the lap car, Andrew Thomas. Hibner should be able to get clear off of 4. Puts Thomas a lap down.
No issues with the first lap car for your leader, Tyler Hibner. As he heads down the backstretch now into 3. Johnson still right there. About a corner behind your leader, Stephen Glenn, 3rd. Tim Eaton 4th with Jimmy Dow trying to get around him.
4 laps to go now. Next lap car is going to be Schweizer for Hibner. That one of Melloway puts it in the infield as we have 3 laps to go.
3 more times around. Now Johnson's catching up with that lap car of Thomas. No issue for Johnson there, able to get by clean. Now the 12 of Thomas going to also pull it in the infield. It's going to be 2 laps to go here for the 89 of Tyler Hibner.
Nearly identical times that time by for Houston and Hibner. Lee Hibner making some good time. Up to 4th now. Lee Hibner, great recovery from his early trouble. As the white flag is out for Tyler Hibner, 2 more corners.
One more time around I-35 for Tyler Hibner as he heads down the backstretch into turn 3. Jumps it down on the bottom, coming off of turn number 4. USRA A modified feature race goes to the 89 of Tyler Hibner. Houston Johnson brings it home in 2nd. Stephen Glenn able to hold on to 3rd. Lee Hibner able to recover and get 4th. Jimmy Dow, your top 5.
Receiver tonight, you got me. So how's it feel to win?
Feels pretty good, especially after last week. That really sucked. We just screwed up. So, yeah, I was glad to get a win tonight for sure and give the fans a show to watch. And I want to thank all the fans for coming out and watching. And I want to thank my dad and my wife, Kaylee, and Billy, and everyone that helps out on the car. And just it's good to get another one. We always start in the back, and we got up a road tonight and it made a difference. So, just glad it all worked out.
Congratulations, Tyler.
Going green this time by 9X of Robert Miller is going to bring us to the flag. Oh, contact already. 28 spins around in turn 1. Field is going to get clear. But a 38 of Dylan Layton, excuse me, some contact there. The 99B sends the 38 around. As Robert Miller comes off of turn number 4 to lead the first lap of the junior compact feature.
Robert Miller, our early leader, but Bentley Long, we saw him win the heat race earlier. See if Bentley Long and that 99 can reel in the 9X of Robert Miller. That red, white, and blue 9 car is our leader. The 38 of Dylan Layton pulls it into the infield.
Robert Miller this time by. We hit halfway, 3 laps to go.
Long still trying to reel in the 9X of Robert Miller. That is your top two. The 5J of Dakota Phelps in third. Misty Teal in fourth. As Robert Miller puts another lap away. Bentley Long not going away, though.
Bentley Long reeling him in here. 2 laps to go this time by. Miller with a good drive off of 2. Lead isn't shrinking by much, but it is shrinking. So is the time left. White flag out. One more time around for the 9X.
Robert Miller's led them all so far, but Bentley Long starting to reel him in. 1 lap left to try and catch that 9X as they go down the backstretch. Now into 3. Long's going to drive it in deep, see if he can make it stick. Not going to have enough tonight. Robert Miller will be our Junior Sport Compact feature winner. Bentley Long in second. The 5J of Dakota Phelps third, and Misty Teal in fourth.
How's it feel?
Oh man, this is incredible. I want to thank my beautiful wife, Ashley. Thank you so much, baby. Sammy Moore, you put together an absolute rocket of a car, buddy. I couldn't appreciate you and Paula more. Thank you guys, everybody that's here and came and watched. Thank you guys so much. Man, this is my first time ever being in a dirt car, and this is amazing. Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Congratulations. Stop by over there. I don't know if they're going to tech you or not.
Modified feature race. Starting up front, the 54L looking to go back-to-back feature wins. That's Chris DeShong. To his outside, the 14H of Blake Hayes.
Row 2, another 14. That's Aaron Jones. To his outside will be the 5J of Jeff Gopferich Sr.
Row number 3 has the 51 of Corey Myers. To his outside, the 08 of Nathan Hampton.
Row 4 has a 12 of Chester Kaufman. To his outside will be the 8 of Coleman Browning.
Row 5, the 4K of Garrett Stoneham. And the 71 of Tony Lane.
Row 6 has Bill Penland in the 23 and Jared Hilliard, Mr. Weatherman, in the 1A.
Row 7, the 3R, Levi Rainey will be on the inside, and to his outside, the 18 of Hank Penland.
Row 8 has the 37 of Nathan Asher and the 52S of Sean Peterson.
Row 9, the 33, Rodell Sperry, Kenny Reed to his outside, and the 56R.
And tail of the field will be the 21 of Connor Johnson.
Wasting no time getting this one going. 12-lap E-modified feature race. DeShong and Hayes bring us to green.
Bad start. We're going to restack it there. Race control did not like it. Blake Hayes got a bad start, so we'll try that one more time.
Down the backstretch they go. DeShong, your leader. Jones in second. Blake Hayes third. Hampton fourth. And the 5J, Goffridge Sr. in fifth. DeShong leads lap number 1.
Got it. DeShong pulls away down the backstretch. Blake Hayes, a great run trying to catch up on Aaron Jones. Here comes Tony Lane knocking on the door of the top 5. As Chris DeShong puts another lap away.
DeShong checking out from the field early here in this one. Aaron Jones also doing a great job. He is our second place car, and he has a pretty good gap on third place, Blake Hayes. Blake Hayes makes a great corners 1 and 2. Good run down the backstretch to close that gap in. But Chris DeShong stays out front comfortably.
Hampton really loose right there in front of Gopferich. The 5J is going to dive bomb. Nothing home that time for Gopferich. As Chris DeShong really just dominates so far tonight.
DeShong was our winner last week in the E-modifieds. Looking to go back-to-back. It was also to win, this would be 3 in a row for DeShong. He won our previous 2 weeks, so looking to go 3 in a row, Chris DeShong in the 54.
Catching a lap car, Hank Penland right now. DeShong on the bottom, able to get by clean. This 54, and Hank Penland loses it, able to save it. He was pointed at the outside wall as Chris DeShong continues to pull away.
DeShong still out there running away with this one here in the E Modifieds. Blake Hayes able to get up and around Aaron Jones. So we have a couple cars around, and 3, Tony Lane. I believe that's Goffrich. Four laps remaining. Chris DeShong, your leader. We go back to green.
.14 versus 14 here. Hayes is going to have a great run off of the corner, able to get by Aaron Jones. We'll see if Hayes, started on the outside front row, has anything for our pole sitter as we come to 4 to go this time by.
DeShong has led them all so far. No one's had anything for him here tonight. So he's looking to run away with this one to go 3 feature wins in a row as a caution comes back out. Lights out, getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Chris DeShong will lead the field back to green with 4 laps to go.
Great restart for DeShong. Here comes Aaron Jones on the inside. Aaron Jones, great inside runner for the Packers. We'll see if 14A has anything to keep up with him. Off turn number 4, 2 laps to go.
2 more times around for the 54 of Chris DeShong as the 14s continue to race it out for second. Blake Hayes in the pink 14, Aaron Jones in the white and green. This time by the flag stand, it's going to be white flag out for Chris DeShong.
One more time around I-35 for the 54L. Down the back stretch all by himself. Closest competition is Blake Hayes, running 2/10 slower of lap times, as Chris DeShong is going to bring it home and win it. Blake Hayes second, then Aaron Jones, Nathan Hampton, and Tony Lane are top 5.
How is it?
Let's just go drink some beer.
Anything else you want to add? All right. See you in tech.